what would you like to see accomplished as a result of coming together corporately and singing for 25 minutes week in and week out?
Accomplished in the hearts of the people out there? Is that what you mean? Like what I hope would be true in their heart, or what do I want to see in the room us do?
Yeah, I would say just what would you if you're all of a sudden really good at singing, and you're a worship leader, so it's basically what would your mission be? Like what would the so as you spent time thinking, okay, here's who we are as a team, and here's where we want to get to.
Yeah.
And so next year when we go on a retreat, we want to. Our prayer is that we'll be able to celebrate something that's happened as a result of what we have done. Yeah. What would that be? What would you want to see God accomplish through your worship sets and rehearsals and coming before your people and leading them in song?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I'm not going to get all the quotes right, and I apologize, but I think honestly again about Ephesians, where it's God has appointed some to be prophets, some to be apostles, some to be teachers, for the building up of the body for the works of service, so that we'll all attain to the fullness of the stature of Christ, right? And therefore no longer be blown about by every wind of doctrine, that sort of thing. So you look at that and you go, God has ordained certain people to teach and lead. So God has gifts for all people in his church, but he's ordained some of us to help them understand things about God. And so when you and I are on stage, that's what we're doing. God has ordained us to be in a spot where he's gifted us in ways that we can help articulate things, truths about God to people in a way they can absorb. For me, I'm trying to say it in a memorable way. For you, you're singing it in a memorable way, but we're getting these truths of God into these people. Why? So that they'll be united and use their gifts to serve one another, so that they'll look more like Jesus, so that when the winds come, they won't be decleated. So what would I want to be true of our church in a year or so? That when suffering and hardship comes, they have a song. They have a truth they can say over it. They have a sense of singing it to each other. That's what, when he gets further into Ephesians, making melody, a lot of that is to one another. That's why we sing corporately. It's not just, well, you and I happen to be in the same room because the band's here. We sing to each other. These truths. One of my favorite things to do before I'm preaching during worship is to look at the crowd and sing over them. And they can't hear me, but I'm like, I want you to know these truths are true. I want you to believe these. I want you to absorb these. And we sing them over each other, And so I would want a community of people that are serving each other and building one another up, that you could say we look more like Christ in how we treat one another, and we have truth we know that can be a ballast for us when the winds come, that we don't get shaken and knocked over. Be a short answer, I guess.
That's amazing. If there's one worship song that comes to mind that's really helped you in your thinking about him,
one song in particular? Oh gosh, I don't know, man.
Choose one.
Yeah. I think. Well, we sang one today. "Be Thou My Vision." It's an old one for me. That asking God to fill up my vision and help me walk out into the world, into whatever comes. It's even written to sound like a marching song out in a battle. And you just it helps me to think about that. I'm going to move, and I'm going to move with you as my vision, as what fills me, And I love that we call him heart of my own heart, whatever befall, I love that. I think that's beautiful. I would say for me, when was really in a crisis of faith in college and wasn't sure what I believed anymore. I didn't really listen to Christian music. I actually told someone that from Caedmon's Call the other day. I met him. He was like, "How's in Caedmon's Call? We used to play at AM all the time when you were there." And I was like, "I know, I never listened to you guys because I didn't listen to Christian music." And someone gave me a Rich Mullins cassette tape. And he started singing his creed song, I Believe, and it was just singing these truths about I believe in God the Father, Almighty Maker of heaven and maker of earth. He's talking through these beliefs, and I remember I started weeping because I'm like, I do believe those. It's I'm just struggling deeply with them. And so songs that can point me to truth like that have always been deeply meaningful to me. Those are two that spring to mind. Yeah.
I love that too. I love both those tunes too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here, man. Thanks for what you do.
Oh God, you're my God, I seek you. Oh, my soul, it longs for you.